That water filter sitting in your Amazon cart right now. There's a 40% chance it's counterfeit. Not a guess, documented, exposed, covered up by platforms that make too much money to care. You'll fill it with creek water during a blackout, drink what comes out, and 3 days later you're curled up with dysentery, bleeding out of both ends while your body dumps every ounce of hydration you have left, and you'll never know it was the filter. You'll blame the water, you'll blame the source. But it was the filter, the fake one. The one with pore sizes that let bacteria through like a screen door lets mosquitoes through. The one you trusted because it had 4.5 stars and 2,000 reviews and free today shipping. Convenience is a drug, and in survival, it's a lethal one. The online retail machine has conditioned you to believe that everything you need is one click away. Need a knife? Click. Need boots? Click. Need body armor that might save your life? Click, and a brown box shows up at your door and you feel prepared. You're not. You're holding a mystery product that passed through 6 warehouses, got handled by people who don't care, shipped in conditions nobody monitored, and arrived with zero verification that it's what it says it is. The survival industry has moved online because online is where the money is. But the things that keep you alive in a collapse aren't products, they're tools. And tools need to be inspected, tested, fitted, and verified before you bet your life on them. Today, I'm giving you 8 survival items you should never buy online, not because of privacy, not because of government tracking, because of something much simpler: quality, counterfeits, fit, and the cold reality that when these items fail, you don't get a refund. You get a funeral. Let's get into it. Number 1. Water filters, the counterfeit crisis nobody talks about. Water filtration is the cornerstone of survival. Without clean water, you've got 72 hours before your body starts shutting down. That's not dramatic, that's biology. Dehydration kills faster than starvation, faster than exposure, faster than almost anything except trauma. So when preppers build their kits, water filtration goes in first. And that's exactly why counterfeiters target it. Here's what's happening on Amazon and every other major online marketplace. Third-party sellers are flooding the platform with counterfeit water filters. We're talking Sawyer, Live Straw, Berkey Elements, Katadyn, all the trusted brands, all being faked at industrial scale. The counterfeits look identical. Same packaging, same logos, same product codes. Some of them are so good that even experienced preppers can't and tell the difference until they test them. And most people don't test them, they buy them, throw them in a kit, and assume they work. Let me tell you what makes a real filter work. Legitimate hollow fiber filters, like the Sawyer, have pore sizes of 0.1 microns. That's small enough to block bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella, small enough to stop protozoa like Giardia and Cryptosporidium. These organisms are measured in microns. If your filter pores are larger than the organisms, they swim right through. Counterfeit filters don't have controlled pore sizes. They're made with whatever material is cheapest. The pores might be 0.5 microns, might be 1 micron. Might be random because quality control doesn't exist in a knockoff factory. And you can't see pore sizes with your eyes, you can't feel them. You can only discover the truth when you get sick. And here's the kicker: Amazon's review system is compromised. Sellers buy fake reviews by the thousands. They ship empty boxes to random addresses to generate verified purchase tags. They manipulate search rankings. A counterfeit filter can have better reviews than the genuine product because the counterfeiter is gaming the system harder than the real manufacturer. In 2023, Amazon admitted that it destroyed over 2 million counterfeit products in a single year. They called it a victory, but how many got through? How many are sitting in stockpiles right now, waiting to poison someone who trusted the platform? So where do you get water filters you can trust? First option, buy directly from the manufacturer. Sawyer's website, Berkey's website, Katadyn's website. When you buy direct, you're getting the real product with a real warranty. It might cost a few dollars more, it might take longer to ship, but you're getting what you paid for. Second option, reputable outdoor retailers. REI, Cabela's, Base Pro, local camping and hiking stores. These retailers have relationships with manufacturers. They get their inventory through verified distribution channels. Counterfeits do slip through occasionally, but at a fraction of the rate of online marketplaces. Third option, inspect before you buy. At a physical store, you can look at the packaging, check the print quality. Look for spelling errors, fuzzy logos, packaging that feels cheap. Counterfeits often have subtle tells. Online, you can't do this. In person, you can. And here's the pro move. Test your filter before you need it. Fill a bucket with muddy water. Run it through, check clarity, taste it. Do this while you're still safe. Well, you can still return it. While a failed test doesn't mean a failed survival scenario. Your water filter is the one piece of gear that absolutely cannot fail. Buying it from a platform flooded with counterfeits is gambling with the most fundamental element of your survival. Number 2, boots, the fit that can't be faked. Here's a truth that every long-distance hiker knows and most preppers ignore. Your feet are your primary mode of transportation in a collapse. Not your car, not your bicycle, your feet. And if your feet fail, everything fails. In a grid-down scenario, you're walking. Walking to water sources, walking to resupply points, walking away from danger, walking towards safety. You might walk 10 miles in a day. You might walk 20, and every single step you take is a conversation between your foot and your boot. If that conversation goes wrong, you get blisters, then you get hot spots. Then you get open wounds, then you get infections, and suddenly you're not walking anymore. You're limping, you're slowing down the group. You're a liability. This is why boots cannot be bought online. Not because of counterfeits, because of fit. Here's what nobody tells you about boot sizing. Your foot has a length, a width, an arch height, an instep height, and a heel shape. Every boot manufacturer has different lasts. A last is the form they build the boot around. A size 10 from Salomon fits completely different than a size 10 from Merrell. A size 10 from Danner is different from both. Online, you see a number. Size 10, you order it, it arrives. You try it on in your living room for 30 seconds. Feels okay, you throw it in the closet, then the collapse comes. You lace up, throw on your pack, and start moving. 2 miles in, you feel a hot spot on your heel. By mile 5, it's a blister. By mile 10, the blister has popped and you're walking on raw skin. By mile 15, you're done and it's not the boot's fault. The boot was fine, it just wasn't fine for your foot. And you never discovered that because you bought online and skipped the fitting process. At a physical store, you can try multiple brands, you can walk around. You can feel how the boot hits your heel, how it wraps your midfoot, how it flexes at the toe. A good boot fitter will watch you walk and tell you if the boot is right for your gait. And here's what experienced hikers do. They try boots with the socks they'll actually wear. They try boots at the end of the day when their feet are swollen. They try boots with their pack on to simulate load bearing. They walk on inclines to check if their heel lifts. They walk on declines to check if their toes jam. None of this is possible online. You're ordering blind and hoping. So where do you get boots properly? They have trained boot fitters. They have multiple brands. They have a generous return policy. You can walk around the store for 20 minutes before deciding. Local outdoor specialty shops. These places often have the most knowledgeable staff because they restaffed by hikers and climbers who actually use the gear. Military surplus stores for combat boots. The staff often includes veterans who can tell you exactly how a boot performs under load. And here's the crucial step. Once you find boots that fit, break them in before you need them. Wear them around the house. Wear them on short walks, wear them on long walks. If problems emerge, you want to discover them while you can still exchange, not while you're fleeing a wildfire. Your boots are the foundation of your mobility. Buying them sight unseen based on a number is betting your survival on a guess. Number 4, medications and first aid supplies, where expiration isn't a suggestion. When the hospitals are overwhelmed and the pharmacies are closed, your first aid kit becomes your emergency room. The supplies in that kit determine whether a manageable injury stays manageable or becomes a life-threatening crisis. And if those supplies are expired, degraded, or counterfeit, you're carrying a box of false hope. Here's what happens to medications over time: the active ingredients break down. This is called degradation, and it happens continuously from the moment a medication is manufactured. The rate of degradation depends on the compound, the storage conditions, and the formulation. Some medications degrade slowly and remain effective past their expiration date. Others lose potency rapidly, and some actually become dangerous. Tetracycline, an antibiotic, can become nephrotoxic when it degrades, meaning it can damage your kidneys. Expiration dates aren't arbitrary. They read the manufacturer's guarantee that the medication will be at least 90% effective until that date. After that, effectiveness drops. How much depends on how the medication was stored. Here's the online problem. When you buy medications from online retailers, especially third-party sellers, you have no idea how those products were stored before they reached you. Were they in a temperature-controlled warehouse? Or did they sit in a hot shipping container for 3 weeks? Did they get frozen during winter shipping? Were they exposed to humidity? All of these conditions accelerate degradation. That bottle of ibuprofen with 18 months until expiration might have lost half its potency because it spent 2 weeks in a 100-degree warehouse. And counterfeits exist in the medication space too. Fake medications are a global crisis. The WHO estimates that 10% of medications worldwide are counterfeit. In developing countries, it's higher. Even in the US, online purchases dramatically increase your risk of receiving counterfeits. What's in a counterfeit medication? Sometimes nothing, just filler. Sometimes the wrong dose. Sometimes the wrong active ingredient entirely. Sometimes dangerous compounds used as cheap substitutes. At a physical pharmacy, you're buying from a licensed facility with a tracked supply chain. The pharmacist can tell you when the stock arrived. You can check expiration dates before you buy. You can ask about proper storage for the medications you're purchasing. So where do you get medications and first aid supplies you can trust? Local pharmacies, chain pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens maintain strict inventory controls. Local independent pharmacies often have even more accountability because their reputation is their business. Medical supply stores. These exist in most areas and carry professional-grade first aid equipment. Sutures, bandages, splints, trauma supplies, all from verified medical distributors. Hospital gift shops and associated pharmacies. Sounds odd, but these often carry quality first aid supplies from the same suppliers the hospital uses, directly from manufacturers for specialized equipment. Quicklot, Israeli bandages, cat tourniquets, all available direct from makers with verified authenticity. And here's the critical practice. Check expiration dates on everything. Build a rotation system. Use the oldest supplies first for minor injuries, replace as you go. And store your supplies properly: cool, dry, dark, stable temperatures. Your first aid kit isn't a set it and forget it prep. It's a system that requires maintenance, and buying supplies from unverified sources undermines that entire system. Number 5. Body armor, where fake ratings cost lives. Body armor exists for one reason: to stop projectiles from entering your body. If it does that job, you live. If it fails, you die. There's no middle ground. There's no partial success, and the online market is saturated with armor that won't do its job. Here's how body armor works. Soft armor uses layers of woven fibers, usually Kevlar or similar aramid materials, to catch and spread the impact of a bullet. The fibers absorb energy, slow the projectile, and prevent penetration. Soft armor is rated by the National Institute of Justice on a scale. Level E stops 9 mm, level 2 stops 357 Magnum, level III stops 40 for Magnum and most handgun rounds. Hard armor uses rigid plates, usually steel, ceramic, or polyethylene, to defeat rifle rounds. Level 3 stops 7.6 to X51 NATO, level for stops. 3006 armor piercing. The NIJ testing process is rigorous. Armor has to stop specific rounds at specific velocities with specific shot placement patterns. Only armor that passes these tests gets certified. Here's the counterfeit crisis. Fake armor floods online marketplaces claiming NIJ certification that doesn't exist. The sellers list impressive specs, level IIIA soft armor, level for plates. They show certificates that are either forged or belong to different products. The buyer trusts the listing. They receive a plate or a vest. It looks substantial. It feels heavy. It must work, right? In 2019, a body armor testing YouTube channel bought random plates from Amazon and put them to the test. Multiple plates claiming level 3 or level for ratings failed against rounds they were supposedly certified to stop. Rounds went straight through. The plates were useless. People are wearing this armor right now, believing they're protected. They're not. They're wearing false confidence. And fit matters enormously. Body armor needs to cover your vital organs, your heart, lungs, and major blood vessels. If the plate is too small, it leaves gaps. If it's too large, it inhibits movement. If the carrier doesn't fit your torso properly, the plates shift out of position during activity. At a physical store, you can try on carriers. Check that plates sit at the correct height. Move around, crouch, run, reach. Verify that the armor stays in position during dynamic movement. So where do you get body armor you can trust? Dedicated tactical and law enforcement supply stores. These retailers serve professionals who depend on armor to survive. They carry verified products from reputable manufacturers. Directly from manufacturers, companies like Hesco, RMA Armament, Highcom, and Safirland sell direct to civilians. You get genuine product with genuine NIJ certification. Verify certification yourself. The NIJ maintains a public database of certified armor. Before buying any armor, check the manufacturer, model, and certification status. If it's not in the database, don't buy it. Gun shows and tactical expos, but with caution. These venues have legitimate dealers, but also attract questionable sellers. Verify everything, ask for documentation. Check the NIJ database on your phone before purchasing. And here's the non-negotiable rule: never buy body armor from a random online seller. Not Amazon, not eBay, not Wish.com. The risk of counterfeits is too high, and the cost of failure is your life. Number 6. Night vision and optics. The biggest counterfeit market in survival. Night vision is a force multiplier. In darkness, the person who can see dominates. They can navigate, they can identify threats. They can operate while others are blind. Quality night vision is genuinely life-changing for nighttime security and movement. It's also the most counterfeited category in the entire tactical market. Here's why. Night vision is expensive. Online marketplaces are flooded with devices claiming to be Gen 3 night vision at suspiciously low prices. $300 for Gen 3 optics. That should trigger immediate skepticism. Yet people buy them constantly, hoping they found a deal. Here's what they actually receive. Most cheap night vision devices are digital night vision. That means they use a camera sensor and an LCD screen, not an actual image intensifier tube. Digital night vision has its uses, but it's not comparable to true Gen 3. The image quality is worse. The light amplification is weaker. The latency makes movement detection harder. Even among true night vision devices, generation ratings get misrepresented. Gen 1 devices get sold as Gen 2, Gen 2 devices get sold as Gen 3, and without testing the device, you can't tell. The specs listed online are whatever the seller decided to type. Image intensifier tubes have specifications called signal-to-noise ratio, figure of merit, and line pair resolution. These numbers define performance. Genuine manufacturers provide spec sheets with actual measurements. Counterfeiters provide made-up numbers or no specifications at all. And here's the problem with optics generally. Rifle scopes, red dots, binoculars all face similar counterfeiting issues. Cheap glass, poor coatings, unreliable adjustments, all hidden behind legitimate-sounding brand names and good photography. At a physical location, you can actually look through the device. You can see the image quality, you can test the adjustments. You can verify functionality before handing over money. So where do you get night vision and optics you can trust? Dedicated night vision dealers. Companies like TNVC, Steel Industries, and Nocturnity specialize in night vision and have reputations to protect. They test devices before selling and provide genuine specifications. Gun shows with established vendors, night vision dealers attend major gun shows. You can look through devices, compare options, and buy with confidence. Build relationships with vendors you trust, direct from manufacturers. Companies like L3 Harris, Elbit, and Photonis make image intensifier tubes. Buying assembled units from authorized dealers ensures authenticity. Law enforcement and military surplus channels. Retired equipment from these sources is genuine, though often previous generation technology. For rifle optics, established retailers and manufacturer direct. Vortex, Leupold, Trijicon, Aimpoint all sell direct and through authorized dealers. Verify authorized dealer status before purchasing, and here's the testing protocol. Before committing to any night vision purchase, ask to use the device in actual darkness. No legitimate dealer will refuse this request. If they won't let you test it, walk away. Number 7. Backpacks and packs, where fit determines functionality. Your backpack is the system that lets you carry everything else. Water, food, shelter, medical supplies, tools, everything you need to survive on the move lives in your pack. If the pack doesn't fit, if it causes pain, if it limits your mobility, your entire preparedness strategy collapses. And online shopping for packs is playing Russian roulette with your spine. Here's the biomechanics of pack carrying. When you wear a properly fitted pack, approximately 80% of the weight should transfer through the hip belt to your pelvis. Your hips and legs are designed to carry load. Your shoulders are not. An improperly fitted pack shifts that weight to your shoulders and upper back. This creates fatigue rapidly. It compresses your spine. It restricts blood flow to your arms. Within a few miles, you're in pain. Within a few more, you're injured. Hip belt fit depends on your specific iliac crest, the top of your pelvis. Torso length determines where the pack rides on your back. Shoulder strap angle depends on your shoulder width and shape. Load lifter straps need adjustment based on your frame geometry. Every body is different. A pack that fits me won't fit you. A pack that fits your friend won't fit you. This isn't standardizable online. You can't try packs on. You pick a size based on a chart, hope it's right, and discover the truth when you load it up and start walking. By then, you've worn it, you've removed tags. Returns become complicated, and you might not discover the problem until you reach 10 miles into an evacuation with no option to change. At a physical store, the fitting process is comprehensive. Staff measure your torso, they recommend sizes. They load the pack with weight, usually sandbags, and have you walk around. They adjust straps while you wear it. They watch how you move and make corrections. This process takes 20 to 30 minutes with a good fitter. It's worth every second because it prevents problems that can't be fixed in the field. So where do you get packs properly fitted? Ray, their pack fitting process is excellent. Staff are trained specifically for this. They have multiple brands and sizes to compare. Specialty outdoor retailers, stores focused on hiking, mountaineering, or hunting have knowledgeable staff who understand load carrying. Military surplus for tactical packs, Alice, Maul, and Philp systems are designed for load bearing. Surplus stores let you try them direct from manufacturers at outdoor expos. Companies like Osprey, Gregory, and Mystery Ranch attend events where you can get fitted by experts. And here's the break-in protocol. Once you have a fitted pack, wear it, load it to your expected carry weight. Walk around your neighborhood, take it on hikes. Discover any hotspots or discomfort while you can still address them. Make adjustment notes. Learn how your pack behaves under load. Your pack is your mobile life support system. Getting the fit wrong cascades into every other aspect of your survival mobility. Number 8. Fire extinguishers, the last line that can't fail. This one surprises people. Fire extinguishers online. What's the problem? The problem is that fire extinguishers are pressure vessels with mechanical components that can be damaged in shipping and degraded in storage. When a fire starts in your shelter, your vehicle, or near your supplies, you get one chance to stop it. If your extinguisher fails, that fire wins. Here's how fire extinguishers work. A pressurized container holds an extinguishing agent, usually dry chemical, CO2, or foam. When you activate it, pressure forces the agent out through a nozzle. The agent interrupts the fire triangle by removing heat, oxygen, or fuel depending on the type. The pressure in that container is critical. Too little pressure, and the agent won't expel properly. Too much pressure and you risk container failure. The gauge on the extinguisher tells you whether the pressure is in the safe operating range. Here's the online problem. Fire extinguishers get thrown, dropped, stacked, and jolted during shipping. This can damage the gauge, compromise the seal, or affect the internal siphon tube. An extinguisher that left the warehouse functional can arrive at your door damaged, and you won't know. The damage isn't visible. The gauge might look fine but be inaccurate. The seal might be compromised but not leaking yet. You store it in your garage or your vehicle, and the slow pressure loss continues until it's useless. Additionally, online inventory might be old. Fire extinguishers have a service life. Professional environments require inspection and maintenance on regular schedules. Consumer extinguishers are often sold with no attention to age. That extinguisher might have been manufactured 5 years ago, sat in a warehouse for 3 years, and arrived at your door with only a few years of reliable service left. At a physical store, you can inspect the gauge. Verify it's in the green zone. Check the manufacture date on the label. Feel the weight to confirm the unit is charged. Examine for any damage or corrosion. So where do you get fire extinguishers you can trust? Hardware stores. Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware. Local hardware stores. You can inspect units on the shelf. Check gauges, compare options, fire safety equipment suppliers. These businesses serve commercial clients and have higher quality units with better service options. Big box stores with high inventory turnover. Costco and similar retailers move product quickly, meaning fresher stock with longer remaining service life. Auto parts stores for vehicle extinguishers. These units are designed for the vibration and temperature extremes of vehicle storage. And here's the maintenance protocol. Check your extinguisher gauges monthly. Verify pressure is in the green zone. Inspect for visible damage or corrosion. Know the manufacture date and plan replacement before end of service life. Keep extinguishers accessible, not buried behind gear in a closet. Fire doesn't negotiate. Fire doesn't wait. When it happens, your extinguisher either works or it doesn't. Ensuring it works starts with how you acquire it. So here's where we land. The gear you depend on for survival deserves more than a click. It deserves inspection. It deserves verification. It deserves the effort of going somewhere, looking at something, and making a decision based on actual information rather than photographs and hope. This isn't about rejecting technology or avoiding online shopping entirely. For plenty of products, online retail is fine. But for the items that sit between you and death, the items that perform when everything else fails, the items that define whether you make it through or don't, those items deserve better. Buy your water filter from someone who can guarantee its authenticity. Buy your boots from someone who can watch you walk. Buy your knife from someone who knows steel. Buy your medications from someone with a license and a supply chain. Buy your armor from someone who can prove its rating. Buy your optics from someone who'll let you test them. Buy your pack from someone who can fit it. Buy your extinguisher from somewhere you can inspect it. These aren't complicated requirements. They're just requirements that the convenience economy has trained you to skip. And skipping them is a gamble where the stakes are everything you've worked to protect. Build your preps right, verify your gear, trust what you've inspected, not what you've clicked. Because when the crisis comes and your equipment activates, you won't get a chance to read the return policy. Stay prepared, stay skeptical, and remember, 5 stars don't stop bullets.